Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Need to Nerd Podcast. I'm your host, Keezy, and I'm joined by my co-host, Patty B.
Hello, one and all. Welcome into the Need to Nerd Podcast.
Yeah, we were supposed to record last week, and I could not. I could not do it.
That's okay. You were moving.
Yeah, and now I'm mostly moved. Mostly moved. And I'll probably feel that way for a few months.
Right. How is everything over there?
It's good. I'm tired.
Dude, same.
I was actually like pretty nauseous this morning. And I've been having bouts of like sickness and nausea. Like I'm normally like a kind of a nauseous person. For those who know, I have chronic nausea that I take nausea meds for. And this morning I just like couldn't move. It was horrible. So, but we're here. We're not going to talk about my nausea today. We're going to be talking about the things that give us a need to nerd. It is our Need to Nerd June show. Because you know, even though we wanted to do Star Wars Andor, I have not finished it yet because I've been busy. And Patty, I bet you haven't finished it either. Because
I haven't even started, brother. It's on my to-do list.
But if you want to talk about Star Wars Andor, if you want to talk about the greatest bet in basketball, which is Angel Reese missing her first shot, head on over to our Discord, link in the show notes, and share the show with your friends, share the Discord with your friends. How much did you put on Angel Reese missing her next shot this week?
I did not bet on that, but I saw like some reactions, like people did some TikToks and some content surrounding that, and I don't know, it's funny, like that's something that is bettable and has such a
I mean, they're riding it hard, man.
reaction about it.
Yeah, there's people tuning in to the WNBA for her. You know, that's according to her. You know, and they are indeed. Would you say that that's betting on Angel Reese or betting against Angel Reese?
It feels like betting against her.
I guess it just depends on which side you take. Yeah. So, let's do our Need to Nerd for the month of June. It is June. Is it the 1st or the 2nd today?
It is the 1st of June. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. How was your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Birthday is like when you get older, it's just kind of, they come and go.
I got myself movers for my birthday, so you know. Yeah, I'll go first on the things that I'm nerding out about right now. For my birthday, I caught up on My Hero Vigilante, which is really good. It's funny, it's cute, it's got a good message, just really enjoyable. And then I started an anime called Solo Leveling. It's the anime that just won Anime of the Year at the Anime Awards. Very interesting premise. I think I'm 3 episodes in or so. Very bloody, very violent, which is not always my favorite thing for those who don't know me, but it's been good. It's good so far. Like I can see, we're only so far in, and I can already see what people love about this anime, which is pretty cool. For those who don't know, it's kind of like this idea that these gates opened up with like monsters in the real world, and at the same time as the gates opening up, humans began to have magical abilities or like special abilities but they're all at different levels, but you can't level up. Like you're just whatever level your abilities manifest at.
Okay, you're just kind of stuck there.
Yep.
You are what you are.
Yeah, so solo leveling is about the lowest ranked human that there is. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a fun one. After that,
is it kind of like your average person's reaction to like all this amazing spectacle around them because they're like the lowest level?
It is not like that now.
Oh, okay.
It is he like he he's like constantly in the hospital because like one of the things that happens is like it becomes a job. Like not everybody gets the powers, so like
Right.
it becomes a job for people with them. And like he's trying to like get his sister through college, and like I think his mom's in the hospital and stuff. And so like that's his way to kind of make money is through looting these dungeons.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Uh,
Sweet.
then I opened my free to play account on Arena for something to do on my phone and something that like I could do just when I was sitting down really quick, went in between moving stuff, and it went really well. And I got Mythic in on Arena with Mono Red, and the deck is just as good as I thought I remembered it being, and
How
it's
close was your list to the one that won Hartford?
so I had the same main deck to start with,
Sure.
and then a very bad sideboard for most of the way through like diamond, well maybe platinum. But I now my list is a little bit different, and like it's definitely a deck that people still don't know how to mulligan against, and like it's very good at beating hate. I don't know if you listeners, if you play Magic the Gathering, you can play specific cards that like are strong against certain types of strategies, and this deck is surprisingly just good at beating those cards. So
Sick.
yeah, and I don't think I've ever gotten. I don't know that I've ever tried for Mythic on my free to play accounts before, my free to play account
okay.
before, but it was cool to just do it. I got there with an 80% win percentage, which was for a while it was like an 86, but I had to concede some games like during the moves and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Have you ever played Battlegrounds, Patty B?
I haven't. I never really got into Hearthstone. I know there was some like Magic Pros initially that were like converted over to Hearthstone, Kibler and such, but I had never really gotten to.
So Battlegrounds is actually not Hearthstone. It's
Okay.
It's actually more like a card version of Teamfight Tactics. So it's an auto battler where you are doing it with a deck rather than like individual characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I do on occasion with Matt Kling, that we play together, and like that we get to kind of just enjoy and like relearn the game because the format changes quite a bit, and in between games and stuff. And the way the games works is you basically like pick a hero and then you draft a deck, and as you level up your deck, you get stronger and stronger things, and it's really fun. And it's something that I decided to reinstall Hearthstone and give it a go, because just kind of looking for things that are kind of easy to do at my desk, and with me being so tired, and it's been a joy. It's always fun to see how they change that game. Well, the different, whether it's with hero powers, whether it's with spells in the store, kind of all different ways to interact with boards in your deck and things like that. And it's been a delight this season. Have you played like Slay the Spire?
No, not really.
I think you probably have one. Maybe you don't have one at the shop anymore, but that's one that they actually converted it into like a board game version of the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it might be like free on your PlayStation for what it's worth, or on your Xbox
Okay.
or something. So if you ever want to try those games. What about you? What have you been up to?
So for me, I got to play a few. I didn't get to play a ton of Magic, right? Like this entire week, I did all 3 of my quests and got 13 of my 15 wins for the week, like last night laying in bed. And so like it, but I was able to squeeze in a few store championships here and there. Like where some Saturdays, like I didn't have all day to go to an RCQ, right? But if a store was having a store championship middle of the day, I could kind of fit that in after rehearsal. So I got to play a little bit of paper prowess with a list that was kind of built for Hartford, but it wasn't as good into like a lot of the norm. Like it was kind of tuned for like the mirror, but I just didn't see it because a lot of them were like super small. So, but it's a card that I had and the deck's kind of cracked, so we still did okay.
You a store champion of anything?
No, I got the two closest ones. I got eliminated by like red green leyline, just like high rolling. So, I mean, yeah, that's what that deck wants to do. So, there's that. This week, we had Friday off, and so Haley, one of our managers at the shop, was like bragging about going to this Broadway rave, and we were like, "What?" So I did not really look into it before I went. It was really fun. We got a table with Nick, Celicia, and a few other folks, and it was a really good time. Big Broadway, very little rave. I was hoping that things were a little more like electronically tuned or whatever, but it was really fun Friday night. If it comes to your area, it is worth checking out.
So who does like? Is it done by like a specific DJ or like?
Yeah, I think it's like it felt more like a drag show where like people who were in like costumes could come up on stage, right, and like kind of act out things as songs were being played. But just like picture just like a bunch of people singing musical theater songs in a club environment.
Okay.
So,
what was the biggest hit of the night?
Definitely some ABBA songs, the Wicked stuff, because Wicked.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think any of our like you could even like request songs too. Like there was like a QR code kind of spattered around the venue where you could just like request something to be played. Yeah,
nice.
Speaking of
theater, you're getting pretty. You have your lines memorized yet?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, man. We open in a couple weeks here. This week is going to be a lot. I've got the link for tickets in the show notes if you are local to northern Utah. Love to see you. If you haven't heard, I'm currently in a show called Something Rotten. It is a rock pop musical that plays with the idea that Shakespeare did not write all of his own stuff. And I play one of the two leads who are brothers, trying to compete in this world that is all about Shakespeare. So
nice. Is it? I think you mentioned on the podcast so it's like a different role than you typically would play. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I am enjoying it. It is a lot different. I'm normally not I'm kind of the love interest of the show, which is not my normal typecasting, at least for myself. So it's a little different than what I'm used to, but it's been really fun and really refreshing.
Nice. And when does it open, just for those listening?
Yeah, so we open June 13th. We run the 13th, the 14th, the 16th, the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st.
Nice, dude. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what you been doing at the kayfabe cards.
Yeah. So, in fact, if we forgot that we are going to move a bunch of stuff over to the new space. We got or acquired the some extra retail space a couple doors down from our from our store. So we're working on moving the back of house operations there, um, and it's been really interesting. Like taking all this chaos that is kind of our backspace and getting it like consolidated and organized. Uh, like for example, we have a big table that has all the sets ever printed for Pokemon and Magic. And one of my things this week was like I was able to like get every card off of the table and kind of where it goes. So that was pretty huge. And then we got just a lot of stuff coming up this week with getting that all together. We've got a pneumatic tube, which is like a brand new thing like that no other store in Utah has. So
yeah, it was when Jonathan Job was telling me that, I was like, "Are you for real? Like, you really doing this?" He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be awesome."
Yeah, it's fun. We tested it the other day, as far as like sending cars over and just like testing different weights and things like that. So
I gotta ask, like, how many Pokemon do you think you know the name of now?
Oh, I don't think I know as many as you would think for me working, at a Pokemon store. It's definitely grown since I've started there, obviously. But a lot of what we do in our like back of house like inventory space is like once it's sorted into its set and its alphabet, like it's more of a catalog thing. Like you get to know some of the characters as as you move along, but like it's really just a name and a number.
You don't think you can name 500 Pokemon?
Probably not. No.
Oh man. Gotta up those numbers, Patty.
I know.
What is Death Become Her?
Yeah, so with a lot of this kind of work that I've been doing, I have been listening to a lot of different soundtracks, and one that has captured me this week is Death Becomes Her. So it was a kind of a cult classic movie made in 1992 that they've now made into a Broadway show. So it's got a lot of really fun, whimsical. It's about these two women who like are chasing beauty, and they take a potion that they can't die, kind of thing. And so there are some really cool things that happen with that. They've got a few like really good like TikTok sounds that have really popped off, like that was rude, that was really freaking rude, is from that musical. So
nice. Have you seen the musical?
No, it's on my list. A friend of mine went and saw it this weekend, and I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, where does it play in Utah at all, or did they go somewhere?
It's not. It's just a Broadway
nice
thing right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next thing you want to fulfill? You got all your theater stuff. Is there anything else coming up?
Yeah. So you mentioned Andor. I haven't touched it yet. It sounds like the full season's released now, so
yeah,
I can just kind of binge it. That will probably come sometime after we open or close the show, as far as just binging through that. I like I mentioned with the current schedule that I have, I don't have a ton of time, but I do want to try and hit up a like Final Fantasy like paper pre-release. Pre-releases are not normally my like cup of tea. And Final Fantasy isn't even, it's a game I've never played, but I just want to find, some sort of event that I can do.
Gotta get that magic fix when you can, like whatever
Yeah.
it is, however it is. This is the
Yeah.
reason that they call it cardboard crack, man, is because it gets you good.
Yeah. And then something that my castmates brought up to me, I didn't know existed. It just released a couple days ago. Is Elden Ring Night Rain. They were talking about playing this game together, and that sounds really fun. Even though it seems, yeah, it seems like a League of Legends like kind of variant in the Elden Ring universe, which isn't my like normal thing that I play, but I'm gonna probably give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm not good at those type of games, but
Yeah.
dude, let me know how it goes. Like do you like Elden Ring?
Um, not really, but
Just something to do with your castmates.
yeah, it's a fun thing that they brought up and was like, I will dip my toes over here, just spend some time gaming and having fun.
That's dope.
But yeah.
Yeah, I gotta finish Andor. It's been really really good so far, and I'm excited to finish it. I've been so tired. Like I have not even watched catching up on anime. I did when I took my birthday off of work. Like I just laid on the couch and watched anime, and I just
Sounds like a great birthday for what it's worth.
yeah, it was pretty. It was relaxing at least.
Yeah.
Watched anime. I guess I can just talk about my birthday really quick. It was pretty chill. I watched anime, hung out with Matt Clay online for a little bit. My kids sang happy birthday to me. My wife got me an ice cream cake from Cold Stone.
Sounds so good.
You know who actually makes the best birthday ice cream cake? It's actually
We generally went with Dairy Queen.
It's actually Baskin Robbins. They
Okay. Yeah.
an insane, like they'll do a layer of cookie dough, a layer of like brownie that's amazing, and then your flavor choices of ice cream in between them.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and it is every time I get it, like for a party, my friends are like, "That's the best ice cream cake I've ever had." It's like surprisingly enough, Baskin Robbins, like 32 flavors and counting, baby. Let's go.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
I historically used to do Dairy Queen myself because I like that cookie crunch. I think it's delicious. But
yeah.
But yeah, just kind of, and then yesterday after my birthday, I was, trying to get the last stuff out of the old house. So I've just been tired. But I want to finish Andor season 2, and then something I want to do. I don't know if I'll get it done in like the next month or something. But as I unpack, one of the things I want to do is put all of the video games that I have into a spreadsheet and whether or not I finished them, and then actually finish all my video games or movies or movies that I have bought that I never got around to watching or stuff like that, and like making a media backlog to actually go through and like complete.
That sounds really smart. Like to have a system for that. I did notice I do want to get another game for the PlayStation. I noticed that both the Outlaws and Jedi Survivor 2 are on sale currently. In your opinion, which one should I jump on?
Have you played both?
Which one? Yeah.
You finished the first one?
Yeah.
The second one's good. Like they're both really good. Outlaws is honestly like probably my second favorite Star Wars game ever.
Okay.
But there are a lot of people that didn't like it. Like they found it small. They found it. They didn't like the kind of the combat system or the. I mean, it's an amazing story. It. I think it's a good adventure. The system it like the good like the. I mean, I talked about it on this podcast,
Yeah.
a lot, but I think the system's really good. It's a fun one. Either one is going to be really fun. I think Outlaws might be shorter.
Okay.
If you like don't do everything, because a lot of Outlaws content is like side quests, and there's not like a ton of side quests when you're playing like a game like a main like the main story of Star Wars Survivor.
Yeah,
that's actually what the game like in my backlog that I'm probably going to finish next for what it's worth. So
okay.
I think
Cool.
I said this on the show, but it got spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this when I was getting ready to back up and move last month, but like I guess we actually only podcast it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, so for the May episode. But yeah, it got spoiled for me, so I want to connect the dots as to like how it got to that point. So
Sure.
and then I'd like to add to my backlog. I've only ever played the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, and if you played it, you probably know what I mean. And if you haven't played it, you'd be like, "What is he talking about at the beginning?" Where you think I ended, and I want to beat it. I think that as somebody that loves RPGs, that's a game that I should have finished in my lifetime. But not being a PlayStation bro, I never got that opportunity. So I'm gonna play it. It's like on the list with Chrono Trigger is like these games that I know that I would love that I need to just play. And I actually started Chrono Trigger for this podcast. It was a game we were gonna do a review on together. And I got stuck in the game and never went back to it. So.
Okay.
But that game's real fun. So. That's kind of it for like the next nerd things that I want to fulfill. Should we talk about some nerd news?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's Switch 2 launch week. And
Yay!
I've come back around.
Okay.
What?
I didn't know. Yeah, if I know you were on the fence about purchasing that product.
I reread and like understand what they're doing, and they're not the first people to do this. Xbox has done this. Basically, it's don't hack your system to steal games from us is really what they're getting down to. They don't word it very well, but stop stealing games, people. And stop using. Also, why use the Switch to do that? Like, if you're not that I would ever recommend stealing a video game, but if you were going to steal a video game, why would you want to play it on a Switch? There are portable handheld PCs that you could play that on.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
That's so Switch launch week. I'm sad, because of the move. I'm not gonna get one this week, and I'm gonna miss out on like the Mario Party launch day. But like both Mario Party and Donkey Kong look so good. I'm so excited to play those games. I wanted another 3D Donkey Kong for what is it, like 20 years now almost. It's been so long. I mean, probably longer than that if we're being honest. And Donkey Kong 64 is like one of my favorites, and this game looks really cool. The environments look awesome. The redesign, I actually like the redesign of Donkey Kong. I think it looks dope. So, Switch 2 launch week. And then the big news that came down on my birthday. My birthday has a new holiday attached to it, and it's Taylor Independence Day. What's so funny, Daddy?
No, it's not that Taylor Independence Day is funny. I'm laughing and like thinking about the reaction from all the Swifties that I work with, and like their group chat that they have going. So I got to see a few of those things, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that she now owns her masters.
Yeah,
all across the board.
Yeah, it's awesome. there were some good memes that came out of it, and I don't know, like I'm a Taylor Swift fan since the beginning. You know, I owned the original album probably a week or two after it came out, and like huge Taylor Swift fan. Like not the way that some people are these days, but like, you know, I definitely like for a long time was one of my favorite artists, and happy for her.
Yeah.
Stranger Thing dropped their announcement. Stranger Things. Are you so excited?
Yeah. The kids are a lot like we needed to finish this. The kids are not kids anymore. So, I'm excited for that to come at the end
Is
of the
it
year.
only 4 episodes?
No, it's more. I think they're breaking it down into kind of like how Andor was, where like they're releasing like bits and pieces.
Oh, so those four, because there was like 4 dates, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And so like each of those 4 dates will have
A few episodes, yeah, like
okay,
two
like
episodes.
Andor did. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think of the announcement?
They always knock it out of the park, and it's visually stunning. And I'm excited to see where they end this story and which questions they answer, which ones they don't.
You think that they won't answer all your questions?
Try assuredly, yeah,
Okay.
to be artistically ambiguous.
What about the next piece of nerd news?
Yeah, so I had a few, all kind of a few other trailers. So we got a live action One Piece like kind of teaser where it's not any content like from the new series, but rather just to kind of show you how they're doing Chopper. And it looks great. I am really excited. As someone who hasn't watched that anime and has only watched the first live action season, I had a really great time with that, and I anticipate it would be the same moving forward.
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of the first season. I don't think I finished it. Maybe I did. It's been a while, but I saw this on. I can't remember if it came up on my recommended on YouTube, or because I feel like I watched it sideways. So that leads me to believe I didn't watch it on TikTok. But it looks cool. I thought that they did a really good job with the characters in season 1, so it does not surprise me that like, things are looking good for season 2. It is definitely one of the better live action anime adaptations. I will say that.
Yeah, that's a really good fan base, and they've done a lot to make sure that it's done right. I appreciate that.
I don't know anything about your next one.
Yeah, so I was just kind of trolling around. Yes. So the other trailer that we got is for Netflix is doing Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. So it looks amazing. It has this really nice tone. Oscar Isaac plays Dr. Frankenstein. It might not be up your alley. It seems to be very grim and very, dark and bloody. So, but it's definitely worth at least checking out the trailer. It's great.
Okay. That might be why I don't know. Like, if I might not be the target audience.
Yeah, right. That's fair. It is nice to see kind of a big something like this as a Netflix direct, right? It's not coming out in theaters. It's just premiering on Netflix. So it's another reason to have Netflix again, I guess.
Sure. And then your last one is a comic book crossover that's coming.
Yeah, I was kind of trolling around looking at the various nerd news aggregate sites, and this kind of caught my eye. I don't normally like do comic book stuff, but DC and Marvel having a crossover with Deadpool and Batman that's going to release this September. So that seems pretty cool.
Is it like a multi-issue run? Or does it say?
I don't think it said. I think it might just be a one-off.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, between all of these in this week's Nerd News, this month's Nerd News, Shirley, which one excites you the most?
Probably the Chopper one, just because like we've got a lot of One Piece fans that I interact with at the store,
Sure.
through the card game. Oh yeah, it is a one shot.
It is a one shot. Okay. Yeah, for me, I think it switched too. I really do. It was funny when people got mad about the price of Mario Kart World and whatever. Like when they did the Mario Kart Direct, I was like, this is like a huge game. Like, I know that people don't feel like this was ambitious, but like, of Nintendo to do Forza at like Mario Kart Forza with all the different characters, changing the game from the ground up, like it's gonna be really fun, I think. So it'll be dope. That is going to do it for this week. If you want us to leave a comment, let us know what you would like us to talk about in the future. Give us something to review. Give us something to check out. Leave us a review on Spotify. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Patty B, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, at PattyBMTG.
You can find me on Twitter at He's a Game. You can find me on Blue Sky at Spencer13H, as well as Threads at Spencer13H. You can find me every week on Constructive Criticism. This week is our Pick 2 set review for Final Fantasy, where rather than doing like a typical top 10 or top 8, we pick categories, and we pick 2 cards for each category and talk about them. So, should be a fun episode. Patty, thank you so much for jumping on the mic with me this week. I really,
of course,
really appreciate it. And we'll see everybody next time with a brand new episode of the Need to Nerd podcast.